What is filler? And why does it get so much hate? Is it really all that bad? I'd like to pose that maybe filler, or at least some of it, isn't as bad as people may think. And you know what? I'm about to say something that may irritate you just a itty bitty little bit. If you don't like any filler from your shows that you like, then you just suck at watching your shows, man. You just suck. Suck at watching your shows. Now, where should I start? I'd like to start with Naruto Shippuden, as these are the shows that I know the best. I spent a lot of time watching these shows, so I can speak on them pretty thoroughly, but I'm not going to speak to Boruto because I haven't watched it yet. Now, these animes are unfortunately synonymous with a copious amount of filler, and admittedly, it can leave a lot to be desired. However, I would like to argue that Naruto's filler actually makes the anime better in a few amount of ways, if you have the patience to watch through it all. Now, I'm not saying by any means that these Naruto filler arcs are perfect, or that every episode is good for that matter. But the different nuances of the filler arcs flesh out the world that wouldn't have been done by Kishimoto normally, which is nice. For example, in my opinion, one of the best Naruto filler episodes, and kind of one of my favorite episodes / arcs ever written for filler, is Revenge of the Shadow Clones. Now, if you're not familiar, which I'm sure most of you aren't, I'll summarize it for you real quick. During his boat ride from Konoha to the village hidden in the clouds, we as the audience are asked a question that maybe a few of you have asked yourselves before while watching Naruto. What happens to the clones when they disappear? How do they feel about being summoned? Well, as some of you could probably imagine, it's actually decently similar to a Mr. Meeseeks kind of situation from Rick and Morty. In the episode, we are shown through a dream sequence that the clones don't really have a good life per se. We also learn in this dream that the clones are tired of being bossed around by the person that summons them. Overall, it's a great concept that would have actually translated well into the main story if it would have been implemented there. I'm going to read from a list of a few more arcs that I've written down that are really great in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden that if you have the time, I would check them out. First we have Shino laughing. I think that's just one episode if I remember correctly. It could be two, but the whole arc leading up to Shino laughing is great. The Guardian Ninja 12, great action sequence, decent side characters. Gotta see, gotta know Kakashi Sensei's true face. That is like top tier filler right there. The Power arc in the middle of the Fourth Great Ninja War. That was actually supposed to be a movie, and if you haven't seen it, I've actually made a video on it right here. Go check that out. Dog, Kakashi's Anbu story? Bruh. Okay, without speaking on it too much, we're shown Kakashi's life after the loss of several loved ones, how he struggles with slipping into the darkness afterwards, much like how Sasuke would later on, showing that parallel to Sasuke whenever he had him tied up on the tree. This arc right here is literally perfect. Literally perfect. Amazing fights, great choreography, great dialogue, great interactions between the characters, the inclusion of some other characters, and just getting to know more about Kakashi, a super mysterious character in part 1, really sets this as just cream of the crop when it comes to filler. Okay, now let's talk about what is probably the most disappointing part of Naruto, or at the very least, one of the most disappointing parts. And that's the fact that the entire second half, the original run of Naruto, is just filler. And it's a little more than just disheartening, for sure, I will admit. And I won't ignore some of the bad arcs that are there as well. Probably some of the most poorly timed anime arcs ever. Just like last time, in quick succession, I'd like to read you a quick list of anime arcs in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden that I would not suggest checking out. They're bad, it's hard to get through them sometimes, unless you just want something to watch to cringe and or laugh at. Okay, so In quick succession, we have any of the episodes regarding Condor the Talking Ostrich. Complete snooze fest. Was super boring character and honestly kind of annoying as well. Completely skip over those. The episodes with Kunohisa, I think is his name. He's the snot-nosed kid who literally throws money at every single problem. I'm sure you can understand why that's pretty annoying. The episodes where they captured the Three Tails and they had the Akatsuki there would have been really cool if it wasn't a 16 episode trudge where a bunch of stuff happens in the middle that's honestly pretty boring. Paradise Life on a Boat is easily one of my least favorite anime arcs ever, just because there's literally nothing that happens on it. They spend the entire time starving, and that's the arc. The only good thing that comes out of the arc was the dream that Naruto had about his clones that I'd mentioned before. But literally nothing happens in this arc until they get to the village hidden in the clouds. But unfortunately, all of these look like grade A anime compared to the episode The Allied Mom Force. This filler arc episode premise isn't awful by nature, but it suffers from some of the worst timing and placement I've seen ever. The premise is that all of the ninja are away from the village during the Fourth Great Ninja War. While all of the ninja are gone, the mothers are left behind to protect the village, along with the genin that were left behind as well. And as it would just so happen, while the ninja are away, the sumo come out to play, because a bandit sumo gang comes to attack the village hidden in the leaves. The final climax of the episode happens when some moms show up after some genin have gotten their shit kicked in from this group of bandits. And the moms drive them out of the village with, what else but frying pans. Not ninjutsu, not genjutsu, frying pans. It leads me to ask, are all of the housewives that were left behind in the village hidden in leaves unable to use ninjutsu? Because that seems very practical. The only showing of ninjutsu that we actually get the entire episode is whenever Konohamaru uses the Rasengan to drive out the village leader. Or not the village leader, the bandit leader. There isn't anything inherently wrong with an episode about moms driving bandits out of the village with frying pans and ladles. I think it's great. I think it's actually very funny. But the fact that it happened in the middle of the Fourth Great Ninja War during some very intense moments and didn't happen in Naruto's original run, where there was a ton of filler anyways, is a little saddening to say the least. It just really gets me that this was played at the same time as Kakashi versus the Seven Ninja Swordsmen and Naruto's trial against the Raikage. These are not the same. Okay, so what about non-Naruto filler then? Are there any other moments within filler that make the show inherently better with their existence? I believe there are some really, really good examples of this. Yu-Gi-Oh's Virtual World, right? This arc gives a bit more sense of wonder to the world of Duel Monsters because that actually makes the monsters alive in a sense, and they're not just in their cards playing them. They're actually somewhat alive within the world around them. Dragon Ball Z's mini arc right before the Cell games was extremely nice. Not only because we got to see the Super Saiyan transformation built upon, but we also got some really nice moments with Krillin that made the show feel a lot more like original Dragon Ball than current Dragon Ball Z, which was also really nice because it was a change of pace from how hectic Dragon Ball Z is. The last arc that I'd like to talk about is the Zanpakuto Rebellion arc in Bleach, an anime just as well known for Naruto as its filler, just as well as known as Naruto for its filler. This arc is really like the cream of the crop when it comes to Bleach. Now granted, I haven't seen any of the new stuff, so I don't know yet, but showing what each Zanpakuto feels in conjuncture to its current master and seeing the two struggle against each other is not only good writing, but it's really, really good work. All of these episodes mentioned here really add something that the original medium wasn't planning on and the other filler arcs don't, which is what I think really makes them stand out. In conclusion, is filler good or is it bad? Well, just like how I view pretty much all things, it's a matter of perspective, obviously. There's obviously going to be filler that's good and filler that's bad. Do I like filler? Yes, if it's written well enough. It doesn't have to be the main story that's going on. Every anime can have its obligatory Bleach episode, Beach episode. Every anime can have its Bleach episode where every anime character gets a Bankai. Do I have problems with filler? Absolutely. I can't speak on the amount of times that Naruto's filler has some of the jankiest looking art that I've ever seen. Like, again, if you want something to laugh at, go watch some Naruto filler. You'll find something to laugh at for sure. Not to mention some of the most bullshit stories, and the rate at which it drags on is just, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I think that if you truly love an anime, a show, anything like that enough, you should give it the respect and the time, if you have the time, to watch the filler one time through. While it's true that none of these events will be canon to the show, that doesn't take away from the fact that it happened. I mean, you were here. You experienced them too. Why wouldn't you love and want more of your show, regardless of what the context is? Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, if you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like on the video. Leave a comment down in the comment section below. I want to get some interaction going. I want to hear what you guys have to think. Ring the bell. I know I'm not posting super frequently, but when I do, you'll know. As soon as I do, you'll know, because you have that little bell rung. Little bell rung. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.